You may well wonder why so many Germans are learning Hebrew here at Frankfurt University. Of course, Hebrew is the original language of the Bible, but there are many other reasons, and they have nothing to do with theology. Who learns Hebrew?
All kinds of people. There are those who are interested in biblical Hebrew. There are those who have been in Israel, went to a kibbutz, like those kind of things. There are those with a boyfriend or a girlfriend who speaks Hebrew. There are all kinds of people interested in languages.
120 students are currently learning Hebrew in the Jewish Studies program at Frankfurt University, and around 400 have completed the 5-year program. 10 universities across Germany offer Jewish studies with Hebrew courses, and at the moment there are more than 500 students. Hebrew is the only ancient language to have been revived as a modern spoken language. Today, Hebrew still serves as the language of Judaism, and it's also the official language of the State of Israel.
So they do learn the language of the Mishnah and of the Bible, but they also have Hebrew conversation classes where we try to read with them Hebrew newspapers. And so reading a newspaper article will not be just for language perfection, but also in order to understand what is going on in Israel and how people in Israel look at these specific topics.
Germany is the third largest source of European tourism to Israel. About 150,000 German tourists visited the country in 2011. And the Israel Ministry of Tourism plans to raise that number to 200,000 by the end of 2012. The appeal of the Holy City is obvious, but there are many other reasons to visit Israel. So I've been told by a lot of people that they want to learn Hebrew because when they go to Israel, if they speak Hebrew, it's a lot easier for them to get into the culture, to get in with the people. Is that true?
That's, of course, it's true, because you meet different people. I had the same. I was in a kibbutz for a long time ago. And when I came there, I just spoke English. And of course, I met those kind of kibbutzniks who spoke only English, or who spoke English with me. And I thought it was very interesting. But then afterwards, I knew Hebrew. I met complete different people who didn't speak English that much. And I could talk with them, and it was completely different.
Many tourists from Germany know German can help them if they meet someone who speaks Yiddish, a mixture of German and Hebrew. But now more and more Germans are arriving in Israel with some knowledge of Hebrew to help them better appreciate contemporary Jewish culture and the people living in Israel.
Hebrew is among the oldest documented languages, and because it has been used as a language for documenting cultural development throughout this very, very long time. We're speaking of 3,000 years by now. And it's always documented all the changes, so we can follow all the developments of the Jewish culture.
Modern Hebrew is spoken by most of the 8 million people in Israel and is the second language for 5 million people. However, since Jews live in most countries around the world, and around 3 to 4 million Jews in the diaspora speak modern Hebrew, the language is now spreading to almost all countries and is playing a role in cross-cultural communication. This is Wilson Ruiz for Jewish News One in Germany.